The CONCACAF Champions Cup, the biggest game in North America, awaits us this Sunday as we have Cruz Azul facing off against the Vancouver Whitecaps. Cruz Azul coming off of a victory against America in the semifinals of this tournament, and Vancouver Whitecaps currently in first place in the MLS, dominating the region, but also defeating Messi's Inter Miami 5-1 on aggregate as they continue this incredible story for themselves going into this final. The game will be played in la Ciudad de Mexico at the Estadio Olímpico Universitario, Pumas Stadium, but currently being used as Cruz Azul Stadium. Yeah. It will be played in Mexico. What awaits us this Sunday in what's probably the most exciting matchup that we've had in this tournament, in my opinion, in a while. What awaits us, bro?
I think this matchup is 50-50 on paper. And the fact that the match is in Mexico City, I do think gives Cruz Azul the edge here. So I need a Canadian miracle in Mexico. Because I think Vancouver can do it.
Yeah.
I think they can do it. They're the best team in the MLS. Their form is red hot. They destroyed Inter Miami in the semis. And that's a very tight matches on the way to this final against Mexican opposition as well. And they're able to prove themselves that they can come to Mexico and play just as well as they do when they play in the MLS. The Canada-Mexico rivalry honestly has been brewing for some time now. At the international scene, they're going toe to toe right now. Yeah. But Canada's seeking their first CONCACAF Champions Cup, their first one, and they've been getting quite close every now and then. In 2015, Montreal Impact played America in a crazy 5-3 aggregate final. But of course, America came out on top. In 2017, it was your beautiful Chivas who beat Toronto on penalties. Canada's been getting closer and closer and closer. If it's not going to be Montreal, if it's not going to be Toronto, maybe it's Vancouver. Maybe it's Vancouver Whitecaps who are the Canadian team to lift the Champions Cup trophy. The players are in amazing form right now. I think Sebastian Berhalter is dominating the midfield every time he takes the pitch. Brian White has found great form in front of goal, but just the rest of Vancouver's players are doing so well. The chemistry is beautiful to see on the pitch. Ali Yame getting called up to the Canadian national team. He's going off for Vancouver. I just think Vancouver has what it takes, but it is going to be very tight because Cruz Azul themselves, they have very good players. And yes, they didn't make the final in the Liga, but I mean, they were insanely close.
Yeah, this matchup fascinates me. It actually is one that I'm really, really excited about. There's three things that I just want to address. There's just three things I want to address in regards to this matchup. To start, at the end of the day, I'm a Liga MX homer when it comes to this tournament.
Yeah.
And it's the reason why we've seen Liga MX dominate the CONCACAF Champions Cup, CONCACAF Champions League, whatever you want to call it, for the past 20 years, 2 decades. We've only seen a handful, just one or two MLS teams actually lift the trophy. Right. So even though Vancouver is in incredible form, 14 games undefeated right now, I do think the burden of proof is on them just in a historical sense to start, before we even get into the nitty-gritty, because they're an MLS team trying to win in this tournament. Second thing I want to talk about, Cruz Azul's at home, bro. Yeah. They're at home. And it's been a big criticism of Leagues Cup and how I feel about those matchups because so many of them happen in the USA. I've always advocated for those games to happen in both sides. But if they play in Mexico, I think when it comes to these matchups, that plays a huge, huge factor. One that Vancouver has actually proven themselves so far in terms of matchups against Pumas and Monterrey, where they were able to get the results in those games. The reason that I do want a little bit more from them is that it's Pumas and Monterrey, bro. Now that we've seen how their seasons have panned out, Pumas 10th place in Liga MX, Monterrey shambles from what we saw in the Liga. And then both matches, they end up winning through away goals. So the burden of proof is not only historically on Vancouver Whitecaps, now it's to see if they can actually pull off an actual victory in Mexico. The third factor, Berhalter's out. He's out on yellow card accumulation, dude.
They do that?
Yeah, it's the most whack thing, bro. It resets in the semifinals, and he got a yellow in both legs against Inter Miami. So Berhalter's out, bro.
God.
And that's the third reason.
That's a big reason.
The burden of proof is even more so on Vancouver. That's arguably their best player. That is a central midfielder, Maestro, who just got the call up to the U.S. men's national team as well, playing in the form of his life. Vancouver does have depth, but can they replace a guy like Sebastian Berhalter? If they're able to counter the history, if they're able to get the away victory in Mexico. And if they're able to make up for the absence of Sebastian Berhalter, then the miracle will be completed and Vancouver goes through. It'll be the greatest victory in CONCACAF history, I would argue. But it's for that reason that I am going Cruz Azul. I think everything's pointing in their direction to win this.
One of the biggest positives of this Vancouver side has been their depth all season long.
Okay.
Sorensen virtually has 15 to 16 starting level players. And he's used them very, very well. In every single matchup, when a change is needed in the second half, Sorensen makes 2-3 changes, and the bench has a massive impact every single time.
So it's like the Pacers.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And he's Carlisle. He's just fucking, God
He's
damn.
tinkering, and he does really well at it.
Yeah.
That's why I love this Vancouver side. They're so united. Their chemistry is amazing. They have 16 virtual starters. So yes, Berhalter it's a big, big miss. But I'm not too worried because the next player up will figure it out. He won't be as offensive, but I think he'll cover the exact same ground that Berhalter were defensively. And I think for me, the effect will be the game will still remain very tight, but Vancouver might struggle to find the goal a little bit more than they would if Berhalter was on the pitch.
Yeah, no, it'll be more challenging, but like I mentioned, it'll make the victory even more impressive if they're able to pull it off, bro. Like, this is history waiting to be made, especially with Cruz Azul. I mean, they lost to America in the semifinal of Liga MX, but before that loss to their one and only kryptonite in North America, they were on a 19-game unbeaten streak as well, dude. So I love that both teams, really are in great shape going into this game. Vancouver has shown they have so much resilience, especially in those matchups against Mexican teams, though they were of lower quality. They showed some incredible heart. They showed some incredible performances in the second half specifically as well. It's a lot you're asking out of Vancouver to get the result here, man.
It's a lot.
And I want to give them credit already for even being here because I think it's an incredible story. And I'm excited to see what they can do domestically in the MLS. But, man, to win it here, I'm doubtful. But I will say if they do it, I'll stand up and applaud for 5 minutes straight. I will do a 5-minute standing ovation if Vancouver Whitecaps win this matchup.
I think they can do it, man. I really do.
Cruz Azul, though, bro.
I know, Cruz Azul is good. That's the crazy thing. And I agree. Since Cruz Azul are in such good form right now, and their starting 11's incredible, and I wonder if Rotondi will be back from injury, they have one of the best 11s in all of CONCACAF, which would add to your point, if Vancouver pull this off, this might be the greatest CONCACAF Champions Cup win ever.
So you're going Vancouver.
I'm still going Vancouver.
Give them that support, that love, that faith.
Yeah.
All right, then. Well, I'm glad one of us does. I'm going Cruz Azul, bro. I'm going Cruz Azul. But I think for either team, especially Cruz Azul, who is on the counter of Vancouver in the sense that they've won this tournament so many times. They've won it a lot. So they have that history of winning. It would be nice for them to see this era, this time in Cruz Azul be rewarded with a big continental trophy because, they've fallen short domestically in Liga MX because of America's dominance. This is their chance to do this. And in the process, having beaten America, I think is really dope. It's been a good run for them as well.
Yeah.
It's going to be cool if Cruz Azul themselves lift this title. They gain entry, or whoever wins gains entry into the Intercontinental Cup, which is essentially the old version of the FIFA Club World Cup that's going to be continued with the top teams from each region, just like 7 total teams competing against each other. And then they also gain access into the prestigious 2029 FIFA Club World Cup.
Yeah.
So we'll get to see this Cruz Azul team or Vancouver team play 4 years from now, whatever remains from these teams.
God damn, man. Vancouver might get relocated or something. We don't even know, man. That's crazy.
The reward. That's the reward, bro. So, I mean, you'll take it, I guess, at the end of the day. It's just crazy that you get to win something that far out, bro.
Yeah,
that far out.
crazy.
Folks, let us know. Who do you have winning this stellar match between Cruz Azul and Vancouver? We will be here for the reaction on Sunday. Comment down below. Let us know, and we'll see you guys very soon. Peace.